Alrighty. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Odoo Live. My name is Todd, Community Manager here at Odoo San Francisco, and I'll be your host. Today, I am joined by Tommy Arnold, Community Customer Success Manager and Certified Odoo Expert, here today to discuss Odoo purchase and procurement.
Yeah, so today's presentation will take about 20 minutes, which will leave us with about 20 minutes for a Q&A session at the end.
Perfect. And throughout the presentation, we will be answering your questions in the chat box to the right of the video, as well as demonstrating some of your functional questions in real time at the end of the Q&A. If you would like to view this webinar again, simply bookmark the link in this video and watch it at any time. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful. And as well, be sure to subscribe to our channel to find out more information. And to access lots of additional free technical and functional videos. And you can subscribe down there. Cool. So, yeah. Also, you can receive lots of live updates by following us on Twitter at twitter.com/Odoo, where we announce new releases, product updates, events, tips, and more. Now, our webinars are broadcast every Wednesday, so stay tuned for future sessions. Thanks again for everyone for attending. Now, let's go ahead and get started.
Great. Thank you, Todd. Welcome, Odooers. Once again, my name is Tommy Arnold. I am a Customer Success Manager here at Odoo. And what I do here is really just help our current customers assess new products and new features and see if it's going to be good for them and help answer any questions that they have. Just to get started here really quickly, I'll show you my screen here. And you'll see that I have just a regular dashboard via Odoo. And really we're going to focus on the purchases application. So this is a brand new database. There is not a lot of information on it. I think I've added one vendor and one product. But we're going to build on it today just to show you how easy it is to use Odoo and how seamless our purchase app really works. So from within our purchase application, you can actually access your products. As you can see here, I've created a product called an apron. So as you can see, this is a stockable product. If we click edit here, you can change it to a consumable, a service, or none. We're going to keep it as a stockable product here because it is a stockable product. It's something that we can order and from our vendors and all that good stuff. And it's something that we stock on shelves and send out to our customers when they order. Right here is where we can basically say the route of how we procure this particular item. As you can see up here in the top, can be sold and can be purchased are both selected here. If it's something that you only use something like internally, like a printer, and you don't really sell them, then you would obviously get rid of these can be sold because it's only something you purchase. But we'll just keep them both, clicked here for the sake of doing it. And then right down here on the bottom, you can actually specify a vendor to each product. So these are called vendor price lists, and it really just gives you a way to start it. We'll get into that a little bit more in depth going through this webinar here. If we go up to the top, we can see all of these little menu items right here, and you can see how many times you purchased the product, how many times you sold it. And then also you have these things here, which is your inventory, where you can see how many you have on hand and how many you have forecasted. It's important to know that forecasted takes into account your purchases that you have out as well as your sales. So it should be a good number based on that. You also have traceability, so you can track your products, and then you have reordering rules, which I will not cover today, but you can see in the inventory webinar that Brett, my associate, one of our direct sales gurus, did, I believe, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. And see here at the bottom also, we have the option of creating variants. So the attribute can be something super easy as you see here, I have an apron, so we'll do a blue apron. And then we can add a value of blue. and then save, and it'll create another product based on this. Boom, once we assign it to it, boom. So now all of a sudden we have 2 products now because we have a variant with a blue one, and then we also have a variant, let's do red. Okay, so we'll select red. Perfect. Oh, didn't select it. Boom. Cool. So that's just how easy it is for you to create variants in Odoo. It's something you can do on the fly within the products, or you guys can always do a nice simple import of all your variants as well. If you're interested in learning where you can set this up, all this is set up within the configuration menu item here. And then you go down, and then you can activate attributes and variants. You can also activate unit to measure, vendor price lists. Also this here, you can activate drop shipping. What drop shipping is a request for your vendors, just instead of delivering to yourself and then you shipping it out yourself, you're actually allowing your vendors to ship directly to your customers for you. So we'll just go ahead and click save, and we will continue on once this finishes. Cool. So we'll go back into the purchases application here, and then I want to just quickly take a look at vendor price lists. So obviously we have vendors here, so we do have restaurant supply. Doesn't have a lot of information in here, but as you can see, this is a vendor. It's super easy to create vendors. All you do is just click create, and then it's a company, and then you just name it, and it's all that good stuff. It's super easy. I'm sure if you've seen the Odoo 101 webinar with Nathan Moss, you know a lot about that. This is really not something for Odoo 101. This is we're just going to do a little high level. Show you a flow of purchases. So with the purchased vendor price lists, you can actually import these, or like I was doing before, you can create these on the fly. So what it is, you just do restaurant supply, you select the product, the apron, and then you can do a minimum quantity of 10 and the price of $20. And then if you want to, the vendor doesn't call them aprons. Maybe they call them smocks. And then their vendor code is SK123. So you can save it there. So you're always purchasing in what your vendor's products are rather than your own. But you will be receiving them in your own, based on your own product. So we're just going to quickly go over some kind of basics here with the Odoo purchases, and you definitely feel free to ask questions here. I'm not sure if a lot of people are on. I don't know how many people are watching, but if you are, feel free to ask questions and and whatnot. We're definitely here to help. So I'll just quickly go through a RFQ to a PO, and then we'll receive it into our stock. But let me just first show you where you do an RFQ, which is a request for quotation. So it's super easy here. You put the vendor, all we have is one, but we can just create another one really quickly here. We'll name it Todd's Supply Warehouse. Oops. And let's see, I believe a SIP is necessary, and we'll do 94618. We'll save. So now we have Todd's Supply Warehouse. Now we want to pick up something from him, right? So maybe we'll pick up something new. So let's create something like shoes. So one great thing about Odoo is you're actually able to, create super easily, but you can also edit super easily by just clicking this little box with the arrow up here. It actually brings up the product in a separate window, which makes it super easy to edit. And obviously, we've been through this before. And shoes is not a consumable. We can't eat shoes, right? So it's a stockable product, so we want to make sure we have that correct. In the inventory, it's a buy, or we can since we enable drop shipping, we can allow our vendors to actually deliver via drop ship as well. So everything looks pretty good here with the product. So we'll do it here. Actually, we should probably set a price for this, huh? Let's do that. So the sale price is $99. The cost price is $49. So we'll save that here. And then we'll save it. Cool. So then the great thing about Odoo is depending on your flow, you can send it by email, you can print it, or you can just go ahead and confirm it. So what I would do usually is send it by email, then they would say that they have it, and then I could just quickly confirm the order. And as you can see here, it creates a shipment. So this is a receipt. So we only ordered one pair of shoes. So what we do is we click edit, we go here, we click one, save, and then we're actually able to validate. Another easy way for Odoo to do it on its own is to have 0 here, and if you click save again, you click validate, and you'll see it'll do this, ask for an immediate transfer. You haven't set process done quantities, click apply, and Odoo will process all quantities to do. So in this case, you just click apply, and it'll automatically do that for you. So then we'll go back, since we've received these items, and then we'll go to vendor bills. And we can create one because of this, and you'll see it automatically populates with Todd's Supply Warehouse and the shoes of the product and the unit of measure and the quantity that we created. So what I'll do is I'll change the amount to, I think I have to do it within this area here, $49. I don't know why it's not populating here. Save it. And then we can validate this vendor bill as paid. So if you go back to your vendor bills, or you go into your into your reporting, you'll see that you can actually go into Todd's Supply Warehouse and you can really drill down what you've purchased, how much it costs, what vendor it comes from. It's pretty much a standard Odoo reporting function. Another great feature that we have in the purchase is purchase agreements, or calls for tender. What they are, I'm not going to get too deep into them, but a purchase tender is really a bid with multiple vendors. So you really want to send it out to, you're going to be sending this out to a bunch of different vendors and having them pretty much bid on which vendor is going to give you the best price and the best lead time and get it to you. And a blanket order is a little bit different. It's pretty much just an agreement with a vendor for a certain amount of time, maybe for 1 year, of a guaranteed price for a certain product. So it's super easy to do. You can, if we do it right here, we'll do an apron. We'll do 100 units. But we also have to have the agreement deadline, which is, I want to know by the 18th that they can do it, and I want to order by that Monday, and I like to have it delivered by the 25th. And then obviously you can link a source document to this as well, and you can confirm it, and you can go through new quotations, things like that. So something that's really cool as well is your supplier relationship management. It's something that's really...
Oh, we have a quick question.
Oh, we have a question. Great, cool.
Sure. Yeah, actually, we do have a quick question, real quick. So I'd like to ask that. So Erica Matat asked, how would you deal with a product that has quantity price breaks? So if we buy 10 pieces, they're $50. If we buy 20 pieces, the price is reduced to $45, and so on.
That's a great question, Erica. That's something that I have not previously prepared for, but that is something that I will give you information. I'll actually give you a link to one of our demo websites where one of our business advisors can walk you through how easy it is to kind of have those more of specific purchase guidelines. But that's not something that I'm currently prepared to show you here. But it is something that Odoo can handle, and that's something that you can address, kind of one-on-one with an Odoo expert, in the near future here. So I apologize, but that's just a little bit too high level for this type of webinar here.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good break. I guess just kind of hop back in. And
Yeah,
ask
cool.
questions to you.
In regards to their supplier relationship management, everything in here can be managed via the chatter. And this will really kind of allow you to this new message allows you to actually send messages to your vendor if they have a you obviously they need email, or you can log an internal note for your colleagues, and you can leave a note for someone. So say you have someone say, this vendor does not like to sell their shoes at a discount. And you can really log this here, and this will always show kind of where the timing. It always have a timestamp, and it'll always be there in this vendor record. So you can always go back and reference anything that you possibly may need. So I'm just going to do a quick flow of a. We're going to just do a quick flow of a quick purchase, and we're going to receive it, and then you'll see it on our stock on the product level that you can really, you guys can really get a real flow and a real idea of exactly how it works. So we'll select here at the request for quotation out of this this purchase header here. We can assign a vendor reference, or we can assign a purchase agreement. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it really easy. And as you see here, it actually has our SK123, which is our vendor reference for an apron. So we'll just use that because we'll do Todd's Supply Warehouse. And let's see, and you'll see the minimum quantity that we're allowed to purchase is 5 because we made sure to do that on the product itself, and we'll bring it up here in the inventory. Or I believe it's on the vendor level. Can't find it right now. But anyways, so what we'll do, just for the sake of just getting through it, you can also as always with Odoo, you can send it by email or you can print it. We're just going to quickly confirm. And once again, it creates a shipment here that we can receive. So we're going to have to go ahead and validate it as done. And then we're actually able to create a vendor bill based on this. And as you see, we bought 5 units at $20, so it's $100, adding the tax of 15%. We'll save it. We'll validate. We'll register a payment. We'll just say it came in they paid it with cash. We'll validate it. Boom. So it's a really good way for you to show yourself. And if you go over here to the your vendor bills, you can see all the vendor bills that you have. You can see your incoming products, but obviously we don't have anything to do, but you also have a record of all of the products that you have received. And let's see what else. Yeah, I mean that's and then what else? Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for procurement and purchasing here. Super simple application that really works well with manufacturing, inventory, sales, and those are pretty much the core applications that work with purchasing and what and pretty much the applications that you're going to need to use purchases in Odoo going forward.
Cool. So we actually don't really have too many questions here, but let me see if I can just ask a couple myself. So I guess maybe, could you talk about some of the apps that Purchase works well with, or some instances where you'd be using Purchase?
Yeah. So Purchase is a good app for people who, are consistently making sales and don't have enough time to really monitor, their inventory too much. So the way that Odoo really makes purchase really mesh well as an overall product is that it works really well with your sales application as well as your inventory application. So whenever you make a sale, it's going to check your inventory to see how many of the product you have on hand, what your forecasted quantity is. And if you set it within the product level of you can never go below, say 10 pairs of shoes, then it's automatically going to create a RFQ, a request for quotation within the Purchases app, and then you can send that to your vendors in order to make sure that you never run low on any type of inventory that you have. Like I said, this is not something that I'm showing you here. That's something you can see in the inventory application. I believe it was Brett Heidman who did a great demo of that in the inventory application. It's something you can definitely check out and schedule a time with one of our other direct salespeople to have them show you exactly how it works and how it would kind of directly affect your actual business.
Cool. Well, I was going to kind of bring up my next question. I was going to ask a bit about recurring and automatic purchases, if you guys can set up triggers for when those might occur, but it sounds like you have thresholds, right?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know why it's not letting me go into purchase. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Okay, so I'll quickly show you how easy it is to kind of set up a reordering rules. They're all based within the product, so you'll see it right here. And you can create a reordering rule based on a minimum quantity of 10, a maximum quantity of 100, the quantity multiple, so you can decide if you want to order them in multiples of 10 or 5. But it looks like your multiple, your minimum is 10, so you might as well want to do that. And then you can also create your lead time. So once you have this set and you go below your quantity, it should automatically create an RFQ once you kind of make a sale and it shows that you need more of that product. But it's not something that I have completely set up and tested before. I've done it here today, so I definitely don't want to make it seem like it doesn't work, because I know it works like a gem. But it's not something that I can kind of just show you on the fly here. It's something that I'd have to set up previously and run through and test.
All right, cool. Let me see if I can ask another question. Well, generally speaking, I guess, would you mind telling us a little bit about your role as a customer success manager? What someone, if they're a prospective, person that might be looking into using Odoo,
Yeah.
How would you be working with them on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. So pretty much how it works with Odoo is once you sign up and start begin paying for Odoo and using it, you're in the middle of implementation. Depending on how you sign up, it's kind of complicated, but you get assigned to a customer success manager. So what we do is help assist you with kind of functional, technical questions that you have with Odoo. So, for example, can I do this, or how can I do this? And we really point you in the right direction. Or we tell you, hey, this is going to be development. This is something that may be a little bit risky. Here's another way that you can do it. Here's some workarounds that may work better for you going forward. So we really are here to just be an ear for you to use as someone to tell you, give you advice on the best ways to use Odoo in your business, because we work with every single type of company, so we know how a bunch of different companies work, and so we really have a really good grasp on how Odoo works, how it affects your business, and how your business can definitely get better by utilizing some of the new features and the new products and all that good stuff. So at Customer Success, we're really here to just make sure that you're up to date with all of our new releases. So as you know, if you're on our SaaS, we do release three versions each year. And if you ever wanted to know about those types of things, obviously we do market them. But if you wanted something a little bit more in depth, I can definitely teach you about those things, tell you what's coming up. And all that type of stuff. So we're really here to, ensure that our customers are happy, healthy, using Odoo, and then also growing with Odoo as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tommy. So actually, we do have some additional questions. So One from Brett. Speak of the devil. How does Odoo purchasing relate to accounting?
That's a great question, Brett. It does relate to accounting in regards to when you do purchases and your vendor bills. I actually don't have accounting installed right now, but clicked on inventory. So pretty much how it works, how it kind of connects through accounting is, it's how you're going to be procuring your product. So you can invoice based on your delivered or received quantities. So you have all of that reporting based in our accounting application, or if you're not using that, I believe it will be in the invoicing application here. So you'll be able to actually track all of your invoices and whatever you've done with your purchases. So as you can see, a vendor bill is part of the accounting, is part of accounting. So, you have to be able to track that, and that's pretty much how, purchase integrates and works with accounting.
Awesome. Okay, next question actually from Herman Barrientos. Is it possible to create a business-to-business site for vendors?
Yes. So we actually, if you do have a website with Odoo, you can create a vendor portal. And this allows your vendors really to come in and see their account, see if they have invoices that are pending, see all the orders, past orders, and things like that, as well as you can send them, you can have them as a customer and you can send them quotations and all that good stuff. So it is possible to have vendors access your site. Can you bring the question back up?
Yeah, definitely. So the question was, how does
a B2B site?
Yeah, B2B site.
So
vendors.
I'd have to get a little bit more information. So would you be having vendors sell to you? Would you be selling to your vendors? That's kind of a little bit of an open question. But yeah, we do have e-commerce. It's something that you can definitely sell. Business to business, business to customer, all that type of stuff with Odoo. But that's doesn't necessarily seem necessary for purchases in this situation, but it definitely can be done.
Okay. Thanks for answering. A couple more questions from Dara Das. How easy is it to import vendors lists from QuickBooks?
Easy. Importing and exporting is never something that we would call easy. It's something that obviously has its own issues, things going on. But within our Purchases app, if you go into the configuration settings, and then you go vendor price list, how to import, we have documentation on how easy it is to import your vendor list with Odoo. So one thing that I will say that is a kind of a tip for pretty much a tip for our new customers is if you kind of slide over these fields, you'll actually be able to see which field, an object, in type, in context, all the information. If you are in debug mode, your developer mode, which can be easily turned on by going to settings and activate the developer mode. It's already active here. If you can also just click debug. You can after web do a question mark debug hashtag, and it'll also activate it there. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's definitely something that can be done, and we definitely have documentation via that. So, and if you do it, you can. Let's see. It was. What do you want to import?
Vendors list.
Vendor list. Okay. Vendor price list. So you just click import. You choose the file, and like that. What we do recommend for this is to. I guess they don't have an action. So. What you can also do, another thing, is do an export and do all the export, and then you'll see which that you need, and then which fields that you need, and then you can kind of use that as a baseline for your import.
All right, perfect. So let me see if there's another question that we could ask for you. All right, again from Erica Matat. How do you know when a product comes up for a RFQ? How do you get a notification as soon as the inventory drops below the order point, or is there a report you can run to check on what needs to be ordered?
Yeah. So if you have your vendor, if you have your reordering rules set, it will automatically create an RFQ, and it'll automatically show up here I don't have it set up properly, and I don't have it set up. So, but theoretically, it should pop up here in your RFQs. It's not going to like send you a pop-up window to go here or go there. It's just going to create the bill for you. So it's a little bit more manual than kind of having everything done for you, but at least gets the process started.
Okay, cool. Actually, sorry, I was a little delayed on moving to that screen. So how did you get to that request for purchase?
Yes.
Purchase?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to the purchase app and you go for your RFQs. So this is where you would see, all of your RFQs, even if you created them manually or if they were created by the system.
Cool. Awesome. And then the next question by Eduardo Madera. How can we deal with product price changes from vendor? For example, I bought 10 pencils for $1 each, but next month the vendor is charging them for $1.10. How can we handle this?
You can just go directly into the product and change the price there. It's super simple. I mean, let's not try to make this as more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, it's super easy to change the price on a product, the cost price of a product right here, or 50 cents. So it's not something that you really need to do a whole lot of extra things to do. All of these things are reportable. So if you bought something for $1 last month and you paid $1.10 the next month, you can kind of report based on your inventory, however you have that set up. If it's based on real price or the all the other options that you have within that as well. So I'll show you that. I believe it's. Might be in sales. Just can't find it right now. Sorry about that, but yeah.
All right, cool. Let me think. Let's just see. Okay, great. An additional question. Can you show where you define minimum ordering quantities on a product for each vendor? Asked by Jerther.
Yeah, Jerther. So if you go into your vendors, let me see, minimum ordering quantities. So you actually go into your products. So this is where on the bottom here in inventory, you can really create down here when your minimum and maximum inventory is. So once you add an item from your vendor, this is where you do your minimum quantity here, and you also do the price. So you do restaurant supply, you do your minimum quantity of 100, and then you can do the price here, as you saw kind of I did earlier, and you can kind of choose which vendor you would like to use from here.
Awesome. Okay. Perfect. Well, next question is from Dan Bigelow. If you have an ongoing need for a product for the next couple of months, but you do not want to purchase all of them now, for example, you have 1,000 pieces going out to a customer, shipping 20 pieces each, how would that work? I guess he didn't really finish the sentence.
So you're saying I'd have to have a little bit more information. So I guess I'm trying to figure out. So you have a 1,000 pairs of shoes going out to your customer, shipping at 20 pairs of shoes a piece. I mean, I would need a specific use case.
Oh, 20 pieces each week, and you want to purchase 100 from your vendor at a time. Would Odoo look forward and put an RFQ 5 weeks out from now?
That's a great question. That's something that I would have to do a little bit more research on. I could definitely provide you with my email, and I can send you that back. If you want to provide us with your email in the chatter here, I can shoot you an email. That's not something that I am 100% sure on, and I don't want to give you an answer that's not specific or real. So,
okay, perfect.
Right.
Next question by the Codin. Can you set up low stock email notifications? So it sounds like another question about triggers.
Yeah, that's something that's a little bit more into like development and customization. Odoo does not function out of the box like that. So that's something that we would have to kind of discuss with our development and customization team, and see if that's I believe, obviously, what we like to say is everything's possible with Odoo, but it's something that I can just kind of show you right here.
Okay, no problem. I'll review with my success manager. All right, cool. Let's see. It doesn't seem like we have too many more questions. So I guess, with that, as always, if you have any further questions that you'd like to ask or suggest a topic for another webinar, feel free to send them to events@odoo.com, and we'll make sure to answer any questions we didn't get to today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel below to see more videos like this one every Wednesday. And also, if you got here late, you can rewatch this webinar at any time by revisiting the URL of this video. For anyone who would like to see a one-on-one demo, personalized to your unique business case, click down in the video description to find a link where you can book a meeting and select a date and time that works best for you. Now, thank you all again for joining us. This broadcast is produced entirely by Odoo employees and is supported entirely by our fellow community members joining us from around the world. As always, subscribe, comment, vote on the next topic you'd like to present, and we'll see you guys all next time. Tommy, thanks again so much for
Thank you,
your time.
Todd.
And this is Odoo Live, signing off.
Woo.